you all for being here on short notice and all of that. We would like to call the meeting to order, and we will dispense with the Pledge of Allegiance since it's such a small group and we all know the words. And now we'll go to roll call, please. Hi, everybody.
Ms. Wagner? Here. Dr. Lordy?
Here.
Ms. Hines? Susan? Here. Oh, thanks. Ms. Peters? Here. Ms. Lisa Miller?
Here.
And Ms. Reinhardt?
Here.
I'm here
Oh,
too.
Joe's here.
Okay. To make my sheet.
Okay. All right. If I can hear a motion to approve the agenda,
So moved.
is there a second?
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion about the agenda? Okay, then all of those in favor of approving the agenda, please say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. Any abstentions? So the agenda has been approved. New business deals with the 2024-25 audit report. So at this point, I'm looking for a motion, or what needs to have happen? Our auditors need to step forward. Or we're waiting on Matt, sorry. We started the meeting without you.
Okay. So we have before us the annual comprehensive financial report for the North Kansas City School District for the year ended June 30th, 2025. We have with us today Kristen Hughes with RSM Advisory, or RSM US, who will give us a brief summary of the findings, and we'll go from there. We've already met in the audit committee, and with that, I'll turn it over to Kristen.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you. All right, good afternoon. As Ben indicated, I'm with RSM. Nice to be with you this afternoon. We have substantially completed our audit testing as it relates to the 2025 financial statements. As indicated, we went through these in a pretty detailed discussion with the audit committee, so I'll go through this at a bit of a higher level. In the financial statements, what you'll see in front of you is in draft form the audit opinion, which we do expect to issue an unmodified opinion, which is the clean opinion in accordance with AICPA standards, so meaning the financials are presented in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles. The annual comprehensive financial report is a large document, so just as a high level on reminder of the content, at the start of the document, you'll see management's discussion and analysis. I usually point you there. That's a briefer 10 to 15 page summary that management prepares that goes through and explains really the 2025 results compared to prior years. So you can get explanations around any significant revenue or expense increases, decreases. In the financial statements themselves, the district presents the financial statements for four key funds: so the general fund, special revenue, debt service, capital projects fund. So the audit presents a balance sheet and income statement on each of those four funds. And then as well, the governmental activities is what it's referred to. That's the district's funds and all long-term assets and liabilities presented at a combined level with all of that information as well. In the footnotes, you will find extensive disclosures that are prescribed by GASB that goes through areas such as the district's investments, capital assets, long-term liabilities, which will include areas such as bonded debt, pension obligations, post-retirement benefit obligations to employees for health and medical. And then you will see in the back what's referred to as the statistical section. And that's an unaudited section, but it has a good different lens there as far as a 10-year history on key areas such as demographic, operating information about the district, as well as just a 10-year look at key revenue and debt areas, such as for debt, you can see a 10-year history of outstanding debt the district has held. On the revenue side, you can see information about who are the principal property taxpayers that feed into the district, what key information about property tax revenue in general. So what have assessed values done over the last 10 years? Therefore, what has that revenue looked like for the district? And then in addition, so at the conclusion of the audit, we, under auditing standards, we touch upon certain, what's called required audit communications. So that's gonna include, at a high level, the results of the audit, so, and any other items that we want to emphasize in the financial statements themselves. So, excuse me, accounting estimates, we usually walk you through those. That's any areas in the financials that have a component of subjectivity. Examples are going to include the estimates for the long-term pension and OPEB obligations, estimates around fair value of investments, depreciable lives of assets, et cetera. So really the takeaway there is that as part of the audit, we do take a look at those estimates and make sure they're supported and appear reasonable, both in line with the district's policies as well as other organizations similar in the industry. We report back if there were any audit adjustments or uncorrected misstatements. So all that means is from the original trial balance we received when starting our testing, were any adjustments identified. Audit adjustments means those that were incorporated into the financial statements. Uncorrected misstatements means those that were deemed clearly immaterial, therefore they're summarized at the conclusion of the audit. Those are summarized in that letter as well. Lastly, so as part of the audit, a purpose of a financial statement audit is not to give an opinion on internal controls, right? That's not the purpose, that's not how the procedures are designed, but if in the course of performing our testing, we become aware of any matters that rise to what is labeled as a material weakness or significant deficiency, the standards do require that those are communicated to the board. So we did have one material weakness specific to the financial statement audit this year as it related to controls around the procurement process. So you'll see information on that. I know that's a high level, but as I mentioned, the audit committee members, we went through a pretty detailed discussion. So at this point, I'm happy to pause and just answer any questions you have on the audits.
Anybody? We're gonna go through now?
Yeah, I've got a question. All right.
Yes.
I apologize. I know this was quick and there's probably printed versions out there, but are there any digital versions available? Because I have yet to see the final audit.
Yes, we can send that out to this group.
Thank you. Thanks, Laura, that was my question.
Okay, are there any more questions from the board? Okay, I think we're good on that.
Okay, thank you, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Sure. So on behalf of the audit committee, we'd like to accept the annual comprehensive financial report for the year ending June 30, 2025.
All right, motion has been made to accept the annual comprehensive financial report as presented for the year ending June 30th, 2025. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of accepting the comprehensive financial report as presented, please say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Any noes? Abstentions? Then the motion has been passed. Do we need to discuss now the Microsoft licensing?
Yes, you'll see in the memo that in order to ensure continuity of service for all of our Microsoft applications for staff, we ask that you consider this request for the Microsoft 365 A3 licensing, as opposed to the A1 licensing that we used to have, because that has been retired. Those were at no cost to a school district, but now our cost would be $96,222. And it is agreed upon through a cooperative contract, so we've done our due diligence there and are bringing it forward to you again with the hopes of not interrupting service for staff members. I'll answer any questions you may have.
Are there any questions from the board members regarding the Microsoft licensing?
Just since was this an unplanned expense?
It is within the current budget.
Okay, then any issues with approving almost $700,000 for other things that are in the budget?
No, no concern there. It was just more of a timing thing that we
Sure.
weren't quite aware of.
Okay.
Does anybody else, are there other questions out there? Okay, this, motion, do I need on here, or we don't even need a motion on this since it's already in the budget, or we need a motion? Okay, all right.
Second.
All right, motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion on the Microsoft licensing? Hearing none, all those in favor, if you would just say yes.
Yes.
Any noes, abstentions? Then we will continue with the Microsoft licensing. Is there any other suggestions for the good of the chapter? I don't hear any. Happy holidays. Thank you all so much for stopping your workday and checking in, and those of you that came in person, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Meeting is adjourned.